What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Tanya Show, where it is what I do, you do, what I eat, you eat, where I go, you go. And today is my opinion day. So there's no mukbang involved today. It's my opinion day because I watched the news like everybody else and I saw something and I want to express my opinion about it. So remember, the word is opinion. I have an opinion. Some might like it, some might not. Some might watch, some might not. So this morning I was watching and I seen where, like even though he suggested it, he could be playing or not. But he said like, why don't we go vegan? Now granted, whatever you eat, that's you. All on you, that's you. Because of the meat places are shortaging, some are trying to reopen and run out of food. Now ask yourself this question. We reopen, I'm in Florida. We open up 25% restaurants. Restaurant serves a lot of everything. Yet, you suggested going vegan. Ask yourself this question. If you're going to open up a restaurant that has to require meat in it, or that has meat in it, why are you suggesting vegan? Then, you're asking people to go back to work in a meat plant that a few of them, have been tested positive for COVID in a meat plant. Whether you're vegan or not, you need to stop right there and say, why would I ask people to open up a meat plant or been tested in places that produces our products to the stores, and there's a chance that this place hasn't been fully cleaned, disinfected. Let's make sure that every person that actually worked in those plants be tested. And for the ones that get tested and have not negative and don't have it, then that's the question you need to ask those people. Do they want to return to an area? They need to know that they have on PPE and that they can go in and disinfect that whole building, spray it, make sure, pull out everything. That because when you bring stuff into a store for a consumer to purchase, and they're consumers themselves because they might want to purchase those things, they need to know that there's no chance of them eating or taking in this thing. If they say that the coronavirus get killed in the heat, they can't last in the heat, those products are going to come out cold because they have to have a certain temperature because you don't want nobody to get salmonella poisoning and all that stuff too. So you have to be careful. I'm not very big on politics. I'm not political. I just got common sense. Common sense. This thing is like the domino effect. Here in Florida, a local store, Publix, one of our stores, one of the employees ended up with COVID. I don't know which employee, but we don't know how it got into that person, whether it was a shopper. But then you got to ask yourself this question. Excuse me. How many areas of that store did that shopper go to? If it was, let's just say it was a shopper that gave the employee behind the register or wherever it may be, how many areas in that store did that shopper go around? And here in Marion County, in Florida, some people don't follow the rules. They just go up the aisles, down the aisles, and you have markings how you're supposed to go up and down, trying to leeway yourself in a store. So when you think about it, it's like a ghost jumping from one person to the next. If that person bypass you, like you said, and you're not in 6 feet distance of each other, and they have it strong on them, and you're not protected, if you protect yourself regardless of that, it got to that person. Every store I went in, I saw Publix people that are behind registers. They're wearing their masks, people. And sometimes they don't have on gloves on their hands, neither. But you're asking, just like the people in the medical field, to put their lives on the front line, to go up there and work. Not knowing what the shopper has, the shopper not knowing what the people have. Because when they leave that store, they're no longer an employee. They go out and they have their own lives to deal with. They have to go home and disinfect themselves. Some people strip down before going into the house, bringing in all those things that have flew by them all day long. Okay, and then you got people that work in the meat department, deli department, and they got to take in all these different types of orders online, Insta orders where people call in and have people to go in there and shop, and they have to come back there, work the people that walk up to the deli. We don't know if it was a shopper, another employee. Where did it all go at in the store? Warehouse. They're back closer than the people that work in the grocery store. They're side by side. You want people to choose but their jobs over this COVID. To go in and a chance that that stuff could be, like you said, it lasts a long amount of time on certain surfaces and areas and it's died out. Do you have data that shows that? The same way you don't have data that you can get a right vaccine that can stop it or contain it. You don't know squat about how long this thing lasts on surfaces. You just making estimated guesses. Those are opinions to me. You're not for sure for real. You don't know. COVID is something that is over everybody's head. The only COVID I know, the only thing that I know that can help me is the man that I believe in, the Almighty One. And the reason why I say the Almighty One, because I don't disrespect nobody's religion and what your beliefs are. But I know what I believe in, and I'm not going to stop believing in it. That's my opinion. And I have that right. I'm in my home. I'm not out trying to force myself upon nobody on their religion. So I have that right. So when you watch this video, keep that in mind. You have your right in your religion and who you are. I'm not going to force it upon you. Now, if you want to sit and listen with me and we believe in the same thing, I don't have a problem with that neither. I'm not going to turn down the person that I serve, and that's God, Jesus Christ. I do not stop that. I put him first. But I'm not going to force myself upon you because I'm going to respect those aisles when I go in the store. I'm going to respect the people when I go in the store. And I'm going to try not to go to the store unless I got to go to the store. So when you say that you are vegan, unless you're growing your own vegetables in your back door, but you still got to go out and get seeds. And if you got to go in a store to get seeds, you can get COVID just as fast as somebody eating a piece of meat. You can get COVID just as fast as anybody else. Or if you're not vegan, you still can get COVID. I'm not talking about the vegan people like far as them disrespecting their eating habits or whatever. But I'm saying is, don't force people to go in back in plants and this and that. Even the dairy people are losing milk because if people have gotten sick, they're not gonna, and they made it through it, or they're fighting it now and all that. You can't ask those people to go back into there. Y'all need to get a plan in place. Excuse my language, I'm country. You got flu season coming up. How many times I got to say this? You got hurricane season coming up. You're going to have to deploy people out to help people. And if you got COVID out here all over the world, who going to want to go and chance of catching COVID trying to help another person? You got enough with the medical people dealing with it. Okay? They have to go to work, leave their children at home. Still got to do it at home schooling and everything else, just like every other human being. And they got to go put themselves on that because they're working in the medical field. But they're wearing their PPE. Okay? And then some of it is still slipping through the thing. That's why I said we're wearing the mask, but if some of these people are still getting it and they're wearing their protective equipment, ask yourself, that thing can still slip through some kind of way sometimes. If doctors get it and they're wearing their PPE, mask, gloves, the whole body armor, the Americans still get it. And you just got to be careful and prayerful. If I have to eat vegetables, I eat vegetables. Being not vegan does not mean I don't eat vegetables. It does not. It's just I eat a little bit more than what you eat. And I'm prayerful about it. So just be careful in that, you knowing that. And if people get up in the White House, this COVID has no respect to person. Okay? We're trying hard to not have to be out there. But when you have to choose between your jobs and going out there and then you tell them, say, hey, be careful about the meat shortages and whatever, and you want to take a chance and feed somebody some meat that might be already contaminated, We don't know that. You cannot prove that unless you're going to test the meat and see if it has COVID. We don't know. So, guys, I'm not going to hold you long. There's a lot more that I could say. I might get, if somebody look at this that I don't know and they might be like, well, what is she talking about? I'm just doing my opinion. It's my opinion time right now. But I will be hitting you up with a mukbang very soon. It might be all vegetables. We don't know. It might be pasta. We don't know. But stay focused. Be careful. Be respectful to other people when you're out. If you have to be out and about in the store or anywhere, you just got to be respectable to people. Follow the rules, people, for one. Then you wonder why they won't open this up, why they won't open it up. If you're not going to respect the rules in the store about walking this way and walking that way, why should they? You're not even looking down at the floor to see if you're doing this. Because you know why I say this? It happened to me. When people walk up the store lines and they're not following the rules, I had to actually call a person out. I'm like, look, man, you need to follow the line. I'm like, serious. I'm not trying to start that in the store. But we want to kind of contain this thing. We want to make sure that nobody is getting caught up in the store. And when I go down the aisle, I try to keep myself, I need to have a list of as what I'm getting. But I want to make sure I get down the aisle and I'm keeping myself away from people. I move over to the side. If someone need to go by me and I'm still deciding on what I need to get. Because what I do, I look at it first. Decide if I want that. If I want that, then I pick that up. I'm not going to pick it up, put it back down. I don't want nobody thinking, oh, she's touching everything. Think about that too. Only pick up what you're going to buy it, if you're going to buy it. Don't pick and play with stuff. Because people are looking at these things and like, they don't know you right now. You're the walking disease. We all are walking diseases walking right here. People don't know your hygiene, how clean you are. People don't know that, so they're treating you like a walking disease. And who can stop them? Who can literally stop them from thinking that way? Because the world wants you to be protective, and we got to be protected. And I'm not going to disrespect you in the pharmacy line or anywhere else. I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to make sure. And then when you go up there, don't go all that talking. Get your stuff and walk away. Breathing and stuff. I have a problem with that. One, you hold up the line for one. Two, keep your mouth closed. Get your medicine. Get on. Get through the line and get on. That's all I'm going to say. Think about the person that's behind you waiting. Talk, say what you got to say, and get yourself and get gone. Get gone. Well, that's enough for Tanya today. No, I don't have no makeup. No, I'm getting ready to go to work myself. In the schools, in the cafeteria. We shutting it down. For what apparent reason? I do not know. And guess what? Everybody's not wearing their protective equipment in the offices, outside. But that cafeteria was delivered mask to make sure that we're covered and my hands are covered because we got that bleach, we got that disinfectant spray back there, and we're keeping ourselves distance apart. Stay safe, respect one another, and hopefully everybody, and if you are a person that believes in God, I'll say it like that, keep him first, and hopefully he will see us through this. Talk to y'all later.